Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel. I'm James Welch, your host for today. We are connecting musicians and audiences in real-time performances and music news from around the globe. Today's program is a little bit more in-depth overview of some of our events. We gave the full overview about a week ago with all of our wonderful events, and it's just overwhelming. But we're going to dig into the overview of our new Laureate Ensemble workshops today. A brand new thing that we're doing this year where we have 7 different ensembles that will come to Carnegie Hall, audition 3-day intensive workshop. It's going to be just amazing. We have Maestro John Kaboff, who's coming to do a cello choir. Then we're going to have 2 different string ensembles in July with Kelly Hall Tompkins directing a flute choir that we have and we have Rita D'Arcangelo coming to direct that one. We have another string intensive workshop with Maestro Emil Chanovsky directing that. What else do we have? So many things. We have a castanets ensemble competition directed by the Maestro Master Castanetist Teresa Laiz. A guitar ensemble, and that'll be directed by Maestro Julio Reyes. And do we have more? There's so many of them here. We have the vocal ensemble. Yes, directed by Justin Palmet-Lars. And these will all take place in New York. And, after being auditioned, a 3-day intensive workshop, we rehearse, and then we culminate in a performance at Carnegie Hall. Now, how do the auditions work? Well, it's a very unique process. You send in your pre-screenings, and then we do a live online auditions workshop that is streamed like a real broadcast. And could we put the stream card back up again? So all of the broadcasts and auditions are streamed on these platforms here, and everybody around the world gets to watch. And these are not only auditions but educational workshops in itself. Everybody's going to get something out of this, and it's open to the public to watch. And we have so many partners that are helping support this. It's overwhelming. I'm not going to read them all here because there's just so many that we could barely fit them all on the screen. But that's our very packed and supportive village of organizations and master musicians and administrators that look great on screen here, and they do a great job. They help us look great. They make everything look great. And as I'm tripping over my words, I'm going to move on to the next topic here. So the audition process, we mentioned that, but let's go to the website here, and I will show you a little bit about what we have. So we have our auditions website here on the Sound Espressivo page, and this has every single ensemble that we are auditioning here. There's 7 of them. Okay, and let's start with the first string ensemble, which will perform in April. And click on it here, and this tab comes up here. All right, so we have, again, it talks about how it's 3 days long, and we'll have some rehearsals with Master Emil Chanovsky, and he is just fabulous. We've had him as a judge before. Not only is he a master musician and teacher, he is entertaining and a great guy to just talk to and be around, and we're very much looking forward to it. So we have all the important dates here. Apply by November 1st. And then we will be having auditions in January, and we will be in New York in April working and performing. And we have all of the packages here. This is what you get, as a performer. You get digital video, certificates, booklet, and all that. So you can read through that. And then if you look at the application process, everything is here. You can click here to apply, and this application form comes up. You just fill it in with your bio and all of your information, and you mention, what you're playing and what you would like to apply for. It's all there. This is a long form here, but it's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to come back here, but we have all of the information here. You can download audition excerpts for the live round, and we have some information about Emil, which you could read at a different time. When you're looking at the website here. I'm not going to read all that because there's just too much greatness, and this is still only the tip of the iceberg of what Emil has. But we have a short video prepared of Emil's fabulous playing that we'd like to show right now. Let's show that. All right, that was Master Emil Chodnovsky performing, and he's just a fabulous violinist. That is just exciting to watch. I understand that there was a little bit of difficulty showing the website here, so we're just going to show a little bit more of that and see how this works here. So this is the main auditions page, and if you click right here, that'll take you to the all-string ensemble, and here it all is. Everything you need to know, and everything that I was explaining a few minutes ago as I was scrolling through this, and we have all the information here and the application and everything. So hopefully that is showing now, and we will move on to the next ensemble. So back at our ensemble homepage here, we look over and we have a cello choir, and you click on learn more, and here we have it, the cello choir. And this is with Maestro John Kaboff, and he will be coming to direct this in April. He will also be bringing back his own cello choir, the Bo Lightleys, which we had performing at Carnegie Hall last November it was. Yeah, my gosh, time flies. And they were just fabulous. So he'll be directing two groups, the auditioned cello choir and his own cello choir, which is just, there's going to be a lot of cellos. It's going to be amazing. Here's our information. So we have our deadline to apply November 15th. And all the information, auditions live in January. We work hard in April and perform hard in April, and it's going to be amazing. And everyone still gets the same performance package, the video, the certificate, And here's our application process right here. Okay, so you submit. Oh, it's by November 1st. My bad. November 1st we apply, and our typical schedule. Oh, and he's got all the excerpts listed for the program. So you just click on this to download the excerpts for the live auditions. You prepare them, and you work with him online, and it's going to be great. And here's Maestro Kaboff here. He is a fun guy and a master teacher. We enjoyed having him back in November. We also had one of his students perform a concerto with the New York Chamber Players on that concert, and we have a little interview clip of the two of them talking with Steve Robinson that highlights them and the cello ensemble and the rehearsal process that we'd like to show right now. So let's show that clip.
And we're very pleased to have with us representatives of the Bo Lightleys. Now, that's a cello ensemble which was founded in 1992 by John Kaboff. And John is here with us. John, you are a distinguished cellist in your own right. You studied with Janos Starker at Indiana University. Tell us a little bit about your early career and how you started on cello and wound up studying with one of the greatest cellists of all time.
I started on cello because I was inspired by an orchestra concert that I went to hear Leonard Rose play Dvorak Concerto, and thus began my cello playing career at the age of 10. And then I went to Indiana University, and shortly after graduating, I ended up in Washington, D.C., and have been teaching cello there for 27 years. And to me, one of the most important things is chamber music or cello ensemble music. And the greatest joy is to play with others and to teach kids to play with others, because the most important thing for these students is to have a hobby for the rest of their life.
Let's rewind a little bit to the Leonard Rose concert. You hear him do the Dvorak. You're only 10, and something struck you. I know that was a few years ago, so maybe the memory isn't totally clear, but what was it?
The soul of his cello just sort of exuded and went into the audience, and it sort of engulfed you and gave you shivers, or gave me shivers. And believe it or not, I was fired from my piano teacher shortly before that, and I wanted to try something new.
So you were studying piano and said, nope,
Yep.
I think this instrument's it spoke to you.
It was much more me, and from the moment I took my first cello lesson, I never looked back.
I see. And what was it like working with Starker? How many years were you with Janos Starker?
I was with Mr. Starker for 3 years. It was, for me, the greatest experience of my life. He was tough, he was critical, but he was fair and kind and very direct, and always made you think harder and more outside of the box than what you were doing.
Mm-hmm. And you've obviously given recitals, you've, I'm sure, played concertos yourself with various orchestras, but you decided in 1995, when you were in your 20s, to form this ensemble called Bo Lightleys. What was the inspiration for that?
When I moved to Washington, D.C., I started teaching pre-college level, and I've always loved playing cello duets, and I wanted to get my students to enjoy this as early as possible. And even when I would have a little 6-year-old playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, I'd go to school with them, I'd play duets, and one by one, the ensemble started to grow. And by 2000, I had a huge studio of 35 students, 8 of whom were lucky enough to play with Yo-Yo Ma at the World Cello Congress. And to me, it's the most important thing.
So the Bo Lightleys are a cello ensemble, and they're playing as 8. Is it 8 cellists in the ensemble, or does it vary?
Tonight, it varies. It depends on who's in the studio at any given time. Tonight there will be 13 cellists plus myself, and they range in age from 8th grade to 11th grade, and I have two wonderful, very young colleagues who are joining us, who are in their very beginning of their teaching career. And I've had as many as 16 or 17 kids. About a decade ago, we performed at the French Embassy in Washington, D.C. on one of their concerts, and there's nothing better than hearing the sound of a dozen plus cellos come together.
Now, one of your students is Alexander Kirby. Alexander, you're a junior?
Yes.
In Maryland?
McLean, Virginia, just outside of D.C.
I see. And when did you pick up the cello?
When I was 3.5 years old.
Wait a minute. You can't play the cello when you're 3.5.
It was the size of a violin, but yes.
But it actually
Yes.
played it as a cello. I don't think I've ever heard of that. And so what, why the cello? Instead of it was the size of the violin, why the cello? What inspired you? Do you remember that far back?
My mom played the cello. She picked it up as an adult amateur. And music, it's kind of a family thing. My dad plays the guitar. They both wanted me to start something, but my mom kind of chose it for me. I was too young to actually know which instrument to pick. So she just picked it for me.
I see. But then the cello started getting bigger and bigger because
Yes.
you kept growing up and you kept with it. And you kept studying. You get your first teacher. Did your parents teach you at first?
No, I started with Mr. Kaboff 13 years ago. Yes, that was my very first lesson.
Wow. How was he as a teacher? Was he any good?
He's decent.
Well, you heard that he was very inspired by Starker, and I'm sure you've heard Starker's recordings.
Yes.
But he's obviously quite inspirational. What about him has kept you inspired and involved?
Well, when I was younger, I wasn't as involved, but as I've matured, I never really understood when I was younger. As I've matured, I've definitely grown for the love of the cello, and Mr. Kaboff has definitely helped me with that. He was a little bit rough on me in the beginning, but it definitely shaped me a little bit, and it did help me grow to love it. It's one of my favorite things, right?
Yeah. Rough on you in what sense? I mean, what was he urging you to do the most?
Practice. That's the big thing with little kids. We just want to play. But yeah, he says it's also you need the parents to be involved too, because without the parents, the kids don't practice, and then we don't play good. We won't improve.
Right. So you joined the Bo Lightleys, and you've performed with them. What was it like performing? Was it with Yo-Yo Ma, or was Yo-Yo the coach?
That was way before me, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Bo Lightleys played with Yo-Yo in 2000, so that's 22 years ago.
I see. Yeah.
Those kids, some of them are professionals today, actually, and some of them have now become parents themselves and are doing music with their own children.
Uh-huh. And what was the experience with Yo-Yo like? Because Yo-Yo was one of the most fantastic people in the world, so I'm sure he would inspire anybody to do anything.
He is
What was that like?
absolutely one of, if not the most fantastic persons in the world. To me, as a younger teacher, because I was 29 at the time, it was inspirational to say, this is exactly what I'm doing with my life, and this is the right thing. And hearing him talk to the kids, being so kind and gentle, and teaching them to listen to each other. As I was conducting the cello ensemble, he kind of pulled me away during our rehearsal and made the kids listen to themselves. And at the time, the kids were between 8 years old and 12 years old. So it was quite interesting to watch really young kids now do this without a conductor.
How did you feel when he pulled you away? Was he teaching you something as well?
I think so. And probably to stand back and let the group kind of guide itself, whether it be musically or rhythmically. And it was something that I've actually taken with me since then. So sometimes when we rehearse, I will say, keep playing, and then I stop playing, and I sort of walk to the end of my room and listen to the kids, and I see how they're interacting with each other, whether it's looking at each other's bows to figure out the timing and coordination of rhythmical things, or musically if they're breathing with each other. Have they done the rallentando or the ritardando, the slowing down of a phrase together the way I was teaching them? And are they watching the other players to see if someone has the more melodic part, are the accompanying parts listening to the solo parts? And are the solo parts listening to the rhythmical sections, thinking, I've got to fit with their pulse? So it was quite a good pedagogical experience for me to learn how to, once I've given them their tools, have them implement it themselves.
Uh-huh. Have you ever had a performance without a conductor in front of an audience?
They've performed without me in the center, and so tonight I'm going to be playing as part of the ensemble. I will conduct a little bit at the very beginning of each piece, but once we set it going, it's conductorless.
I see.
Like chamber music, for example.
Now, what about the repertoire? What is there much repertoire written for mass cellos?
There is an incalculable amount of repertoire for mass cello ensemble. There are many amazing cellists who have orchestrated pieces like Danse Macabre, which we'll be playing tonight. And it's very readily online. You can purchase it, you can get it as free scores, and the music is amazing.
So the Danse Macabre you're playing tonight by
Camille Saint-Saëns.
So it was arranged for cello ensemble.
It's arranged for 10 cellos, and so there'll be 14 of us playing, including myself. And so a couple of the parts will be doubled, of course, but there's basically for cello dectet. And the arrangement is amazing. And if someone is familiar with the orchestral version, they'll sort of hear, oh, here's the harpist playing at the beginning. Here's where the violin plays their solo towards the end. And various cellists will be taking those roles.
And of course, you've played the Bacchianas Brazileiras. Is it number 5 for cello and soprano?
I have played that, yes. And the number 1 is also amazing, too.
Yeah, one of my favorite pieces. How many cellos is that scored for? I forgot.
I believe it's also 10.
Yeah. But there's also, you say, a great deal of music written for, original music written for 10 cellos or groups of cellos.
I think, so the Bacchianas, of course, is written for cello.
Right.
Most of the mass cello ensemble music is transcribed from something else, whether it be Bach Chaconne, for example, or Pictures at an Exhibition. I have an ensemble for that. The Barber of Seville Overture I've played with my students. Tonight also we're playing themes from Schindler's List, which is written for cello quintet.
Oh.
And so there'll be 2 to 3 per part, and it's quite amazing. And if you listen to the original soundtrack with Itzhak Perlman, it's beautiful on violin, and it has its own color there. And then when you have 14 cellos come together, it's a completely different color trying to send the same message. Mm-hmm. So it's important for us as musicians to learn how to speak.
Okay, I'll leave you with this challenge. Now, I don't know what your budget is or where you get your funding, but what you should do, and I'm sure it's occurred to you, is commission. You should commission. Have you commissioned any pieces?
I have not yet, but one of my students who's in high school is dabbling with composition, and later this year we will be playing one of her pieces in Knoxville, Tennessee at the Tennessee Cello Workshop at the University of Tennessee.
So go in and find a patron, have them give you 20,000, let's say, and you can, for 20,000, you could commission any composer in the land who'd be thrilled.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. I can recommend my friend Alex Shapiro, wonderful composer. She's terrific. Would jump at the chance, as would anybody. Jennifer Higdon, you can't name anybody who wouldn't jump at the chance. And it's not, unfortunately for them, it's not that expensive.
Right. No, that would be amazing. That would absolutely be amazing.
That's your assignment, and I will expect a report in the next few months to see
With
how
pleasure.
you did. Okay. Alexander and John, thank you very much, and good luck tonight. I love the cello. I told you I dabbled with it with Stephen Gabriel when I was in college, but I wanted to learn how to do it just because I love it so much. I didn't get very far, but I love it, and I'm looking forward to tonight very much, so good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So much greatness there with John Kaboff and his studio, and you get to hear his live cello ensemble there. They did perform at Carnegie Hall. They also performed this beautiful, compelling arrangement of Danse Macabre, which was just to die for. And then he had his student play with the New York Chamber Players, and it was just a wonderful time there. So that is something we have mentioned on a few past broadcasts. I'll just mention briefly that we do have an orchestra, the New York Chamber Players under Maestro Giacomo Franchi, and opportunities to play with them are available on our galas, and opportunities to play as a solo recitalist in chamber music, which we will dive more into on other programs. But I figured it was worth mentioning since we did show you a little bit of that, and we're about to show you a little more of that through some of our other performances. So one of the greatest things about these ensembles is many of our alum performers and their connections are now the directors of these ensembles. So these are musicians that already went through our laureate galas and gave amazing performances. Now they're giving back and teaching to the next round. I don't want to say the next generation, but maybe so, the next couple of generations of musicians, and giving opportunities to perform at Carnegie Hall. And it's just so exciting that I'm starting to ramble a little bit, but we need to go on because I want to show you more about the ensembles that we have. If we go back to the web page here, our next one is the vocal ensemble here. And you click on that and the page comes up here. We have the intensive vocal ensemble with all the dates and deadlines. Now, this deadline to apply here is December 15th. And there's my highlighter. And here's the application and all the regulations. And our full schedule here, live auditions will be in February. And this ensemble will perform at the end, we'll rehearse at the end of June and perform in July. We do have an age bracket for this ensemble, and you need to be between the ages of 15 and 20, just for the sake of developing voices and balanced ensemble. So that's why we had to put those age restrictions in there. So if you're between the ages of 15 and 20, this is going to be like a mini all-state experience with all the people participating in this one. So here's the application process, just like all the others, and our typical schedule. And we will have excerpts to download. I don't believe they're there yet, but we have Master Director Justin Pometlars, who is my most respected choral music colleague out there. He's been teaching choral music for 18 years, more than 18. He's been in his current position for 18 years, and he inherited one of the most reputable church choirs in the Western New York area that has toured the world in the past. His school ensembles have toured and have performed on many major collaborations at Carnegie Hall in the past. And Justin is also a master pianist. And he's just a fabulous musician and great person all around. And we're very lucky to have him. So it'll be a real treat to be working with him this summer at Carnegie Hall. So you can learn more here and apply. And that's Justin and the vocal ensemble. So we go back to the page here, and what's the next one here? The flute choir. Right here, you click to learn more, and we have the flute choir. And deadline to apply, November 15th. And we have all the regulations here, and it's pretty much the same process to audition for all of these. So I'm not going to go through every detail, but I'm going to scroll down the page a little bit here and just show you that we have the program picked out, or at least selections of the program of this list will be done on the program, and our audition excerpts are available. And we have the fabulous Rita D'Arcangelo from Germany, who has played all over the world and has just had great success as a performer and teacher. And we actually have a video of her wonderful performing that we'd like to show now. So enjoy this video here. Wow, that was fun. Oh wow, and so if you apply for the flute ensemble, you get to work with her in the auditions, and then you also, you're selected to come to New York. You get to work with someone who plays like that. That's just exciting. Okay, we have a few more ensembles that I want to show you. So let's go back to the website here. We have the Castanet Choir here. So this is actually a separate competition that Teresa Laiz is running herself. So all the links are in this promo spot for her, and you click on that and it takes you to her website, and she has her own application here that you can fill out for information and all. And and here's, I'm at the bottom of it. Okay, here's I was looking for that. So yeah, deadline to apply November 1st, and we have our whole schedule here, and it's a slightly different audition schedule here because it's her own ensemble. So make sure you take a look at these dates here. But the ensemble will be performing in New York on July 1st on our gala, and that involves some intensive rehearsal as well here. So all the application process is here, and our links and a typical schedule, yeah, everything here. So meet the director, Teresa. Teresa, in my opinion, is a force of nature, just revolutionizing music and percussion even. I mean, who would think that, castanets would be so fascinating? She makes it fascinating with her performance and her dramatic movements and interpretive dance that goes with original works that she's arranged. It's so, I can't even put it into words how great it is, and I can't wait to hear what an ensemble of this would sound like under her direction. We do have a video of her in rehearsal from our previous gala that we'd like to show now, and you get a taste of how wonderful she is. Let's show that video.
My favorite castanets, which are made of wood of granadillo, and there is a different sound from one hand and the other. The right has got a higher sound, and the left is a lower tone. Okay, and this is the typical toque. We call toque when we touch. This is carretilla. Okay. Okay. And we can do a lot of things only with these two pieces of wood. And I would like also to show you that we also write scores for castanets in a diagram, 2 lines, one for the right hand and another for the left. In the middle we write the silence and the posticeos, the crushing. Okay, I am going to perform the Hungarian dances number 4 and 5, and so, well, I hope you like it very much. Thank you.
Oh, we are back. I believe we had a performance clip of Teresa as part of that video. But we've been having a little bit of technical difficulties here on our tech end today. I mean, sometimes you can never control the flow of the internet. But I believe that our tech wizards have corrected it, and we can go again with this. So let's try again.
let's look at this right after this.
Okay. Wow. Well, I think I had said that that was a performance. It was a rehearsal, as you could see. For Carnegie Hall, we're not allowed to broadcast the performances, so we had to show the rehearsals. So there's always rehearsals are always a work in progress. So anyway, we have some a few other ensembles here, and I think we're still having a little bit of website trouble. So we have some still cards that we're going to show here, and while our tech wizards are working on the website issue, you never know with the internet, right? But our ensemble, we have a second string as ensemble directed by the fabulous Kelly Hall Tompkins, and we on our website here, which we can't show, but I'm just going to read here. The deadline to apply for this is November 15th, and our live auditions will be in February, and then those selected will come to New York and work with Kelly Hall Tompkins for a few days and then perform at Carnegie Hall. And she's just fabulous and wonderful performer, is performed all over the world and is going to be with us, and I can't wait for that. It's going to be wonderful. Our next ensemble, our last ensemble that we have to present, is the guitar ensemble, and I believe we have a still for the guitar as well. So there we go. Yeah, and that's with Maestro Julio Reyes, who is another alum of our events, probably the most experienced alum with our events. He's been on 3 of them now. He was on our very first Progressive Musicians performance in February of 2022 at Carnegie, and then we had him back for the gala this past summer. And in between all that, he performed in Fredonia, New York with the West New York Chamber Orchestra on our Cole Orchestra project. And he is just a wealth of knowledge and a master teacher and even bigger master performer and just a fun guy all around. And to work with him in the guitar ensemble, you must apply by November 15th. And we have auditions in February, and then he'll be in New York with us again this summer to do a 3-day intensive workshop and performance at Carnegie Hall. And this is just going to be so great. He has all of his audition excerpts on the website, so you could go check that out and you can look at his information. And we do have a video of Julio in the Laureate Gala rehearsal that we can show to you right now. So once again, Julio takes the center stage. Bravo.
Thank sell it to you. I like that thing. Yeah, I like that thing. Yeah. Okay, so those are better than things. Yeah. It was a little bit faster. I think so. Yeah. I like that. I prefer that. Yeah. We have to train more excited. Exactly. Okay. More coffee. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That was good. Bravo. Thank you, everybody. Bravo.
Always a pleasure to hear him play, and just working with him and talking with him. We're all in for a real treat, and his bio is just the tip of the iceberg of his experience and what he's done, and everybody's gonna be in for a real treat. I'm just excited, so I'm rambling. So anyway, that is all of our ensembles that we have to present, and you've seen that we have concerto opportunities and we have recital opportunities. We also have opportunities for composers, and Sound Espressivo has a whole bunch of online opportunities that you could check out at their website as well. There's just so many things. We have opportunities, awards, everything, and I'm overwhelmed here. So if you're studying currently and you're interested in one of these opportunities, talk to your teacher, see what works best for you, and listen to everything your teacher tells you to do. If your teacher tells you that you're not ready for something, you're probably not ready for something. If your teacher says apply for this, apply for it. But then work hard. Go home, do everything your teacher says in lessons. Practice, practice, practice. Be great. Come here, share greatness with others, and have a grand old time. Okay, so wrapping up, I'd just like to give another thank you to our audience and our musicians and our supporters. If we have that here, there's so many supporters that have given us priceless resources, and we're so grateful for that. Thank you to all the private teachers and the families that make this possible. And I can never say enough about private teachers and families. And thank you for all of your hard work and support. And yes, our VCHS team, who's been working on overtime in the background of this broadcast with all of the internet viewing technicalities that we've had and a few video issues, but they find a way through and they make us look great, and their time and dedication and expertise is invaluable. So thank you, VCHS team, for all that you do behind the scenes. Okay, and now wrapping up, I just want to remind everybody we are live every day at noon with more information about the greatness of these events and the musicians that have contributed to them and the teachers and everybody. So please subscribe to our YouTubes, our Facebooks, our Instagrams, everything. We're on everything. And message us with any questions or comments that you may have. We live on all of our platforms, and we love to communicate with everybody. So please don't feel shy about that. Okay, wrapping up here, I'm James Welch, owner of Progressive Musicians, and your host for Virtual Concert Hall's broadcast today. And I wish everybody have a great afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.